Wrong one right off the bat.
0 for 1. Together.
Hey, welcome in, as Dominique is asking about the intro.
What timing? I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, oh, this is a nice intro. Is this new? Boom, here comes Todd.
Here we go. Yeah, it's not the Todd Fox post-game show.
We're live now.
Yeah, we sure are. Well, this is the Angels recap. I am Todd Fox, along with
Fernando Mendez, the Lone Star Halo, who's actually the Georgia Halo right now.
Yes, he will be reporting with a screen here soon. He's on the road. He's getting to his destination. And our Catella Chronicles friend.
What's up, everybody? Dominic Lorenz in the house. This shitfest is over.
Yes, it is.
I love the Angels, but it was not a great 3 days for the boys.
Exactly. What do you guys think of the season overall? I mean, if you guys could sum it up in a couple words.
Ooh, Fernando, you go first. You're in Georgia. You deserve to go first.
Yeah, exactly. This place sucks. If I can just describe it with just one phrase, it's just the simple fact that the season is defined by 2 weeks worth of baseball. That is it. Honestly, when you think about it, if you eliminate the 14-game losing streak and you eliminate the other streak where I think we went like 1-7, we're talking about a completely different season. We're talking about a potentially playoff Angels. Like if they would have went 500 during that stretch of 20 games there, I think we would have been maybe like 3 games out of playoff contention, and this Oakland series would have been something completely different. But yeah, it's just a disappointing 2 weeks of baseball that ruined the rest of the year.
I agree.
Ooh, for me, I think it's three words, and it could be like a movie title: A Beautiful Tragedy.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay.
I really think because everything started off. We've said this a million times. It started off great. A great month of April.
Recording in progress.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh no, you're good. It was a great month of April, great month of May up until that losing 2 of 3 to Texas, or actually getting swept in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And then Toronto came to town and the wheels fell off. They never recovered until over the last 2.5 weeks, where the Angels actually played decent baseball up in, minus the last 72 hours. So it's very interesting how this season went about. There were incredible high moments. There were incredible low moments. But if that 14-game losing streak was maybe only 6, and instead of only getting 6 wins in the entire month of July, maybe it was 12 wins, you could be looking at, I'm not guaranteeing a playoff spot, but at least being competitive through September and October and playing some meaningful baseball instead of being eliminated with about 2.5 weeks to go in the season.
True. I think for me, it was just a tease, man. We saw that this pitching staff could be so good at times, and even the bullpen, which we made fun of last year religiously about the buttercups and the bullpen. they actually came through for the most part. You know, they had their nicks and bruises here and there, and they kind of didn't show up on nights, and I get that. But for the most part, you had pretty fantastic pitching all year. And you just figured if just something would come along, they could get on a hot streak and get on because we waited 2.5 months. And 2.5 months, they went on a 1.5 runs scored per game streak. So that's what killed the season for me. I thought when they just couldn't score runs, they were getting outstanding pitching. It just, no matter what they did, it just didn't work. So for me, I think this is the most frustrating season I've ever watched.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all had playoff visions, right? We were all hoping and thinking this was the year. And not only was it not our year, but to add insult to injury, it was Seattle's year.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes it worse.
Yeah, absolutely. We all thought when the brawl happened at the Big A between the two squads, especially between Rendon and Winker, we thought, and I've said this a million times, I texted Todd immediately saying, watch the Angels pull off a 10-game winning streak or like win 8 of 10. The Angels win 3 in a row, give us that tease, as Todd mentioned, and then drop, I don't remember if it was like 5 of 6 or 4 of 7 or something along those lines. And they end up going 3 and 7 in a 10-game stretch while Seattle wins it ended up being 14 or 15 in a row at some point. So a tale of two seasons could be another phrase for this season. You know, there was 2 focal points to me, I think, that really stood out. I thought the Angels could have turned it around that beginning of June, that 3-game series in Philadelphia. Phillies had just fired Joe Girardi. They were 5 or 6 games under 500. And I thought, okay, this would be a good time to go beat up a team. Mike Trout's going to play in front of some hometown fans. Let's go do it. Let's try. They go get swept. That wasn't a good look. And then the entire month of July, collectively as a team, they bat 196, 194.
Mm-hmm.
Unacceptable. You know, like I said, inconsistencies were the death of this team this year. How many players, truthfully, on both sides of the ball, pitching or hitting, especially hitting, were consistent all season long? Trout, minus the injury. Ohtani was pretty consistent. And Rengifo? Taylor Ward.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Ohtani was pretty bad offensively to start the year. Remember, I mean, Todd and I were worried the first month. He was bad. He was struggling with his bat at first. And even his pitching wasn't all that great in April.
Yeah, his one start in Houston that everybody talks about, April 20th, where he had that, perfecto going through 6 and the Angels won and beat that took 2 of 3 against Houston before coming home. That was the point, I think, the first part of the season where we actually said, hey, maybe the Angels might contend this year. They took care of business in Houston convincingly, and they were winning games they shouldn't have been winning like we had seen in years past. Like they had swept Cleveland at home, who is now a playoff team. So it was nice to celebrate those games that we shouldn't have won. And then, as we found out, June and July, we were losing games we should have won and losing games we should have lost. So it was a perfect storm at that point.
Yeah, we kind of went back and forth as a team. Like you said, Seattle, like in the beginning of the season, me and Fernando pretty much said it's Houston's divisions to lose. The Angels could make that next step and get their feet wet in the postseason, or they're going to finish third. And we both agreed that, Oakland and Texas were going to take steps back, even though Texas made some moves, but they didn't do nothing impressive on pitching-wise. So we figured it was going to come down to either Seattle or the Angels to make the postseason as a wild card. And we were kind of giving the nod, maybe biased aside, to the Angels because we felt that if they could stay healthy, Rendon's redemption, remember we were touting that from the start. And we just thought that this team was going to make the next move. And sadly, it didn't happen.
You know what I think was maybe the kiss of death to the Angels this season? I honestly think it was Rendon's left-handed hitting home run. I really think it was a great moment in that encompassed, the no-hitter with Reed Detmers, and that was a moment within itself. I think that really encapsulated and really put shockwaves through the pitching staff this season. But I wonder if that was the kiss of death because, for the week following, the Angels were thriving, and then, boom, it was like, I don't want to say Rendon. Rendon did not disrespect the game by any means. He was just They're shutting out
Having
Tampa
fun.
Bay. It was a fun moment, but I wonder if the baseball god said, okay, a month and a half is enough. We're going to chop off your legs and enjoy some baseball. Go quietly into the winter.
Well, think about it.
But, and it's funny. Oh, go ahead, Doug.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's funny because last year, the Angels were hovering around 500 the entire year. That's what they were doing. They'd win 2 games, they'd lose 2 games. And that's what they were doing. They'd lose 2, they'd win 2. They'd stay 500. I think they hit like 500, 20-something times last year.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And the point that I'm trying to make is last year, Todd and I kept saying, man, this team needs to get in a fight or something, or this team needs Madden to get ejected. This team needs to fire Madden. We were just saying, things that the Angels needed to do to stir up some good juju with the boys to get the team fired up. And it's funny because almost everything that we said last year is what happened this year, and none of it fired up the team at all.
Yeah.
We
No.
were dead in May.
Yep, correct.
And then you could go back to Rendon's 2 biggest hits were from the left side, the left-handed home run and the left-handed face punch,
There you go.
Hey, he gained some fans from that this season. He really did. Even if this contract is a bust, that's a top 5 moment for Anthony Rendon in a Halos uniform.
Exactly.
Yeah, how was that not a T-shirt?
I don't know. I mean, Randy's dropped the ball on that one, and also if we do it, we'll get a strike. But anyone else does, it's perfectly fine.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, copyright infringements? Only
Never.
for the
Come on,
Mandalay
what are
Bay.
those? We don't learn about those in college. Please, just do whatever you wish.
We just draw an A. It's nothing close to even the Angels A that I have on my hat, and we get copyrighted.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I was what? Redbubble doesn't copyright. I'm they do for us.
Yeah, they sure do. God, they hate us.
No,
Yeah,
there was.
right.
I think there was really many kisses of death to the Angel season. We all had high hopes.
Mhm.
We all thought, everybody was going to be healthy this year. And thinking about it now in retrospect, now that we're past game 162 and there is no tomorrow until February and spring training in Tempe,
Mhm.
this was maybe one of the healthiest Angel seasons, and that says a lot. The biggest injuries were Michael Lorenzen's stretch in the middle of the season. Taylor Ward was kind of on and off the injury list when he, threw his neck out against the right field padded wall. Jared
Yeah.
Walsh's thoracic syndrome surgery, and Mike Trout's mysterious back ailment. I don't know if I'm missing anything else that really.
David Fletcher.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Fletcher. There we go. Thank you. But
Oh,
besides-
Swilly, you're here.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm here. Hi.
great timing.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Talking about my boy Fletch.
But, in years past, we've been so used to pitching issues. Like, this guy's down with a forearm strain. This guy's down with shoulder. Lorenzen was really the only person on this pitching staff that had a long-term injury that wasn't legitimate 10 days and was back. Maybe you can take out Austin Warren because he busted his nose on a, batting practice foul ball or something, but he really wasn't a part of this rotation as much as we thought he was going to be this year. So in comparison to last year, 2020, and maybe even 2019, was this maybe one of the healthier Angel squads? I think it maybe is a little bit. I know it's a stretch, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, you had
In terms of pitching, yes.
Yeah, you had your it figures the one time we take batting practice, Austin Warren gets hit. You had stuff like that. I think
That's why they don't do it, Todd.
yeah, I mean the health what like he said wasn't the problem. I think it was just bad coaching this year really set us back. Bad in-game adjustments. You saw other teams that would switch their the way they would hit or attack our pitching midway through. We were just sitting there like, well, we're swinging for the fences all night tonight. I don't care if we're down 2 runs. We don't need to manufacture. And I think that's what killed us with Madden, and it kind of carried over with Nevin. Like with the Nevin news today, I like that Nevin's around because the pitchers absolutely adore him. But my thing is, what's he going to do with the lineup? What's he going to do with in-game decisions? That's where I'm worried about. I think that's what killed us.
For starters, I'm going to pull a LeVar Ball and say, I told you so. And second of all,
I gave you credit. I gave you credit on the post game, just for the record. I did.
Okay, I
He
did not get to listen.
He
to
did.
the
I bear
post-game.
witness. I heard it. He
Okay.
did give you credit.
Yep.
I did not get to listen to the post game, because of the shit show here in Georgia.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't hate Phil Nevin sticking around. I mean, realistically, I think all Angels fans, once they're really honest with themselves, kind of saw that coming. I mean, what's the alternative? You're having a potential ownership change if somebody buys the team. I would assume this is the offseason where we get that news. Perry's obviously going to have to rebuild with most likely what little money he's going to get to work with here. So, yeah, I think Phil Nevin was kind of the automatic answer.
Yeah, I think especially with the whole news about ownership changing and the sell of the team potentially and all of that, just that, why as a GM would you want to add to the problem and now have to go through a coaching change? And what manager would want to come into this? You got Trout, you got Ohtani, you got a decent roster that you can play with. That's good. But the turmoil that's going on behind the scenes, for me as a manager, I would not want to start my tenure with the Angels like that. So Phil's already dealt with it. He's been on the hot seat. He's been under pressure. So he's kind of gone through the growing pains, as you say, as a rookie manager, just in a different way. So I like the 1-year deal. We already know that we got to all be honest with ourselves. And, since Swilly hasn't talked that much, I'm going to kind of turn this to her if you guys don't mind. Let's be real. We all need to sit down and accept the fact that Matt Wise is probably still going to be the Angels pitching coach next year. With the positives that we saw from the Angels staff this year, and it's been one of the better Angels pitching staffs as a whole, I would say in the last 5 to 7 years, maybe since the divisional run in 2014. Matt Wise kept his job, regardless of how much work he really put in or didn't. The pitchers responded and made him look good. So I think Nevin and Wise are safe, but I thoroughly enjoyed Todd's rant today on the hitting side of things, and I know Todd will probably get into that. But based on Phil Nevin and coaching staff, Swilly, what's your take on where the Angels are going to go now that Game 162 is over?
Thank God, right? We made it, everybody.
Have a drink. Cheers, everybody.
We made it. I didn't want to interrupt the flow of your guys' convo, so I just decided to, see where the conversation was going. But just really quick, thanks for having me on. I'm excited to talk baseball. I think when it comes to Nevin, Dom, you hit it right on the head. I think that it's because of the potential selling. I think that's why he's not going anywhere. I know, like you guys mentioned as well, he is very liked among the roster. He's very liked, as far as I know, like in the front office. So, I think that, getting rid of him with the potential of a sale, it's another obstacle. So I think that's why they re-signed him or whatever. I also think that Matt Wise, one of the things that I have written down is that our pitching this year was so much better, despite what our record showed. So I like him staying as well. I think it has to do with ownership. I keep having to say potential ownership because we don't know, right? But
yeah, we know what you mean. We know what you mean.
Right, yeah. So I think that's why he's staying. I also, you guys know the Angels love their local guys, and Phil Nevin is a local guy. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Nevin was in a screwed up position. He was given not sort of just everything was just messed up in an array, and I think Manassian brought him on as a potential manager for the future anyway. But the thing was, now you got to give him at least a year from what they're going to do, and like you said, Swilly, it's perfect. He's an in between till we get the ownership. And let's just face it,
right.
Even if they find an owner, it's going to take a good solid amount of time to get that sell through because $2.5 billion is a lot of paperwork. And it's going to take a minute. And, and this is good for Nevin because now it's like, hey, he's going to put his whole 100% in it. And it's either win or you lose your job. You know, you've got to. You could get an extension halfway through if the Angels are 10 games up at the All-Star break, or you can get fired if you're 10 games below at the All-Star break. So it's a make it or break it for him.
It gives a little wiggle room for the Angels, I think, especially for Perry Minasian, who we thought was on the hot seat coming into this year with all the moves that he made. And let's be real. Let's take a look for a moment at all the moves Minasian made this offseason. Noah Syndergaard. It wasn't bad for the Angels. They just traded him. Okay. Aaron Loop. Was it on a scale of A to F in school? Was it an F?
C plus.
Oh,
you know,
that's generous.
Ryan Tepera. Borderline as well, very basic. Squiddy Poo.
No.
A plus 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 plus. Like a Christmas Story. A plus 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 plus.
Yeah.
Like out of
Show
all
me your
the,
honks, Todd.
out of all the additions Perry Minasian made this offseason, what was the best move? I think that's a roundtable discussion we could have right now. I think, is Syndergaard the default, even though he got traded?
Can I take this one?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I think it's signing Michael Lorenzen on a 1-year deal and taking a shot on him as a starting pitcher. Michael Lorenzen never really got that opportunity with the Reds. Sure, 2015 he got a couple of starts, but he never fully got the keys to the kingdom. Perry Minasian, rolled the dice and proved that, hey, you know what? Michael Lorenzen does have the tools to potentially be a number 5 in the rotation. I don't think he'll ever be a dominant front end of the rotation type guy, but Michael Lorenzen did not embarrass himself this year, and neither did Perry Minasian in signing him. Honestly, I think Lorenzen is at the point where a lot of Angels fans would be like, yeah, I'll take him back.
I agree completely. Lorenzen was going to be my answer as well, to be honest.
To put Lorenzen in perspective, and I can see that. I think it's Syndergaard or Lorenzen. I think depending on how you value, an ace against a back end of the rotation starter. So I think it just varies. Lorenzen, he did have the shoulder strain that kept him out for about a month and a half. So throw that into the equation here. 18 games, 8-6, a 4.24 ERA. He pitched a total of 97 and 2/3 innings. He did have 85 strikeouts and a WHIP of 1.28. His splits actually, I was actually impressed with. April, 2-1 with a 2.93. May, 3-1 with a 3.31. June was his worst month in July because he was battling the shoulder and wouldn't say anything, I believe. He combined in June and July went 1-4, and in June he was a 6.75 ERA. July, that one bad game that Todd and I did the live telecast where he gave up 8 runs within 2 innings. But then September he was 2-0 with the 3.05 ERA, and then last night he shoved 6 innings.
Yep.
So if you take away that one bad start against the Astros in July, I'm pretty sure his ERA goes from 4.24 to maybe upper 3s.
Mm-hmm.
So is he worth it? In my opinion, a 2-year, $10 million deal? I think that's favorable, cheap in a good way, because he's willing to stay home. I don't think he wants to go back somewhere else and hit the market again. I think that gives you a nice 5th starter. And the real question is, I think that I was looking in the chat already on Instagram, people are asking, should we re-sign Syndergaard in the offseason if he's out of Philly? He loved being here. I know.
I say yes, but I'm a big Syndergaard fan. And I think next season, he's really going to do better. And I only say that because this past season was him coming off of his Tommy John surgery. And he was a completely different pitcher than he was 3 years ago, right? He's not, shoving 100-mile-per-hour fastballs anymore. Yeah. He's been trying to figure for lack of a better term, he's trying to figure his shit out. He's trying to figure out what type of pitcher he is. So I think this upcoming season, he's going to do even better, to be honest. So I would love to sign him. I'm a big Syndergaard fan.
I agree. But
what does Lorenzen and Syndergaard have in common? I want to see if you guys are thinking on the same wavelength I am. Anybody? What do they have in common?
They both have long hair.
They both have a great head of hair.
Besides physique of hair and muscle that we all aspire to have.
Syndergaard's not local, is he?
No.
No,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Lorenzen
me-
is though.
I
To
believe
me-
he's from Texas.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. It's Texas. You're right.
For me, they have two qualities that I love in pitchers, especially with this Angel staff. Veteran.
They have ganas.
Okay, that's the extra credit bonus point. So Fernando's winning right now. Okay, he got the extra.
Okay.
He got the extra credit. Veteranship, especially with the young pitching staff, I love it. And they eat a bunch of innings. They go deep into games, 6+ innings nearly every start. That is great, not only for the Angels because we're so used to 4 innings, change the bullpen.
Mhm.
They go deep into games, and in those games where they go deep, it's a quality start. Syndergaard, most of the time, even though he was picking up some losses, he went 7 innings, only gave up 3 runs. If the Angels had a decent offense this year, you're telling me with this offense that had Trout, Ohtani, Ward, Walsh, Rendon, all went healthy, couldn't have scored 4 runs in 7 innings to pick a pitcher up? Like, look at Ohtani today. Shoves 5 innings, had a perfecter through 4, and gets the loss because the Angels scored, no runs while he's on the mound.
Ace was right. There's another coincidence, or at least a thing that they got in common. That's they have the same agent.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, they do.
ooh.
So,
Who is that agent?
Good question, though. I don't have that information, but that's what
Okay,
she,
I
hop,
can
hop
find
to
it.
the Google train.
exactly.
Baseball
well, you can look it up
reference.
pretty
we've,
easily.
Let's see. Who is Noah Syndergaard's agent? And if you
Well, we
guys,
looked that up. I'll say this about Noah Syndergaard. I would gladly take him back, but unfortunately, I don't think he's a $20 million a year guy anymore. If we're talking about bringing Thor back for 13 to 15 a year for 2 or 3 years, perhaps. But I mean, I think we all have to admit he's not a 20 million guy anymore.
no, I can agree with that 100%. He's not not $100 million man. Well, that too, but he's not 20 million.
Yeah.
Is he 10 to 15?
Somewhere around there.
Maybe like
I like 10.
is like the Ricella Iglesias deal too much? The 4 for 58? Is that too much for like a Syndergaard, or is he too old for 4 years? Is he more like a 3-year deal?
I like.
Yeah,
three.
I'm 2. I like 2 with the third option.
Yeah.
Options
Yeah,
are very
I mean-
popular. Look at Carlos Correa. Everybody thinks he's jumping ship to the Angels just because he, patted Ohtani on the back saying he's the best.
Yeah,
A
I don't know.
goddamn shortstop.
I don't know about that. I'll tell you. I'll tell you guys this. When we move forward here with the pitching staff, this is how it looks on paper. We already know there's 4 guys coming. We're gonna have a 6-man rotation. What we're talking about here is somehow, some way, if we lock up Loki and Thor, that's going to give you a rotation: Loki, Thor, Sandoval, Ohtani, Suarez, and Detmers. Is that good enough to rerun again, like they say in basketball, run it back? Or do we say, hey, you know what? We'll keep Lorenzen in the bullpen. And those last 2 spots, we got a bunch of rookies coming up. Do we give them a shot? What do you think the Angels do?
I don't know. That rotation sounds kind of nice to me. I mean, one of the big things that I have on my notes is just how much Sandy, Detmers, and Suarez impressed me this year. So I would like to see them gel again in our rotation. So I think it sounds great personally. And I think that's 3 righties and 3 lefties. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
So-
give you a nice split for 6 guys.
Yeah.
I think the young pitching staff that we have at the minor league level still needs a little more development. We saw some positivity from Chase Silsep this year, but I think command was still his problem, and he was fresh out of college. Give the guy a chance, and he did extremely well with Double-A Rocket City this year. Give him some
Did.
time with some more closer big league bats at the Triple-A level in Salt Lake next year, and I could see Silsep maybe making an impact. If the Angels enter spring training next year and enter opening day with the same rotation as this year, I wouldn't say no. The only thing I'm still questioning, and he started to prove me wrong in September, is the length that Suarez can provide. Normally he's a 4 2/3 to 5 1/3 type pitcher, and recently he was starting to get over the hump and legitimately go 6 to 7 innings, which was nice to see. So if he can keep that up and at least do minimum of 6 innings, then I can consider him as more of a lock in this rotation. I think he's 80% of a lock, 85% of a lock, but just that one little piece to the puzzle, I think, makes Suarez even more dangerous, moving forward.
But here's the issue with Suarez, and the thing that is maybe scaring me a little bit about him. We're going to have a pitch clock next year. Suarez is very good when he has a good tempo, but that's the thing. With the pitch clock, he's going to have to readjust. Did he see the pitch clock in the minors? I believe he did. And they use it in spring training this year, right? I think they did.
I thought they did in the B games, but not the major games. I could be wrong, but I'm not sure what the case may be. But, that is the situation. You heard Matt Wise talking about Shohei Ohtani being very slow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Shohei Ohtani, his problem is the fact that he shakes off like 10 to 15 pitches, no joke.
That's what happens when you have an arsenal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The guy doesn't have an arsenal. The guy has a freaking
A library.
helicopter.
He has a
he has a litany of things that he needs to do.
Yeah.
I think there's some people are commenting on Instagram as I'm kind of dueling between the Zoom and here. 2 people that haven't been mentioned much this year that could play a factor. I don't think as much in the starting rotation. I think it's more bullpen. Chris Rodriguez and Griffin Canning. 2 guys that were injured all season long, and that Canning has been a starter. Rodriguez partially a starter, more so out of the pen. I like Rodriguez more out of the pen. They could make some noise, but they haven't really pitched. I don't think they're going to – they might get looks, but I don't think they're going to be trusted, especially after this year.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, they might make some noise, but chances are they're going to stay in the silent film category like they've been in the last couple of years. I liked Griffin Canning, what I saw from him in what year was it, 2018, when he made his debut against the Blue Jays? Was that 18?
I think it was 18.
Because 18 and 19, he pitched the most, and then 20, he got hurt. Last year, I think he had, one game or something that was hurt again. It was very brief.
Yeah, it's upsetting. I mean, he was a second-round pick for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the potential's always been there for him. I've seen some good stuff out of him, but his thing has always been health, and it's been the same thing with Chris Rodriguez. Chris Rodriguez, we saw him when he got a chance at the major league level when he was coming out of the bullpen. Did great. Got hurt. And that's the unfortunate thing, man, especially with Chris Rodriguez dealing with back issues. I mean, back issues are, crippling things for, everyday people.
How dare you? Mike Trout was just fine. Mike Trout is just fine, Mr. 40 home run man.
Jeez.
Yeah, Han Solo. The back hurts from carrying the organization on his back the last 10 years.
Do we have, Fernando, with you being the Mr. Han Solo man of the group, do you have the official number of how many solo home runs Trout had, or do I need to research that?
Man, that's something I'll have to
might need to do a deep dive.
Well, if you just look at his home runs, the RBIs, he had 40 home runs and 80 RBIs this year.
I'm going to guess, if there's an over-under, I'm going to guess 24 of his 40 home runs were solos.
Yeah, it's got to be something like that.
I might have to do a little deep dive at some point.
We're talking about Mike Trout on this one?
Yeah.
How many solo home runs he had this year?
Yeah, I mean, you have 40 home runs, and he cracked 80 RBIs.
That's what I just said. That alone.
Again, that's what I was saying. You know how they say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, it's the opposite. You had it, and I talked to Fernando the other day, and Fernando was telling me, well, yeah, the logic between the Angels and them starting him at the 2 spot is the fact that he can get more at bats. I see that, but when you have a power hitter, I've said it all year, you're not going to put Aaron Judge at number 2. You have him in a traditional 3 or 4. And if Aaron
Judge is leading off.
He leads off.
He leads off.
It's just the way that people are building rosters nowadays. They put their top 2 guys 1-2, regardless of if
it's
they're
not like the old days where it was Your big hitter was 3 and 4.
Which
in the
I
playoff
still
spot.
like that. Maybe I'm old school. I don't know.
I do
but
too. That
yeah,
was-
Aaron Judge leads off.
Well, that was my point. See, that shows you how much I'm not following the Yankees because
No.
I just look. I figured he was hitting like 3-4 like every other power hitter in the league. I just don't understand the fact why we need to do that because I've always felt that if the Angels could have put 2 guys ahead of him that could have got on base, let's just say the Ward of September and the Renifo of the second half were 1 and 2 all year for the Angels hitting that way, there's no doubt Trout would have about 120, 130 RBIs. The same thing with Ohtani, but these guys were hitting. They were the Han Solos of baseball. That's all they could do.
Here's a theory. I just thought about this. This could be a theory why you have more power hitters in the leadoff spot. As an opposing pitcher, pitching to these guys, pitching to Trout, pitching to Judge, pitching to Ronald Acuna Jr. Most of the time, that first at bat of the game, you're getting a feel for your fastball only. You're not going to go start diving into your breaking ball first pitch of the game slider. So you're trying to take advantage of a pitcher laying back in the first inning trying to establish his stuff. So what's Judge going to do? He's going to rip a fastball first, second pitch of the game into the seats. And as the Yankee fans say, it's Judgment Day. He gets his 62 shot, So I could see maybe that's why you get more power hitters up top. But this could transition into a big question moving forward. Again, as with the asterisk, when the Angels are healthy and depending on the direction of the team this offseason with free agent signing, what could a potential batting order be like a true balanced lineup with the Angels? Because in my opinion, the Angels need to make 3 moves this offseason. Get a starting pitcher, a bona fide one, get somebody who's a very good bullpen piece to really shore up that bullpen just in case if Loop and Tepera have, their herky-jerky moments. And I'm sorry, get a bona fide outfielder. Joe, we can't keep doing this. If you want to keep Joe Adele as your 4th outfielder bench guy, cool, fine, whatever. You get a dub for the day. But if you can make those 3 moves, and with the Angels' money, they had about $86 million of payroll to roll with this offseason. They just doled out $30 million of it to Shohei Ohtani. So the Angels have about 50 to 55, 56 million, unless they go over the tax, which they won't unless we get a new owner, to play with. Can the Angels hit those 3 spots? I think they can. To me, it's Rengifo leading off because I don't think the Angels are going to get a shortstop. You're not going to go get a shortstop after a season Rengifo did. And because Rengifo's not a bench piece anymore. He established that this year. Regardless if he has a productive year or, like we said with Jared Walsh, a great 2021 season, and then he dropped off in 2022. Regardless of how that goes, the Angels are going to give the same faith to Rengifo than they did Walsh last season / this season. So I think Rengifo, Trout, Ohtani, Ward in the 4-hole, Rendon in the 5-hole, Walsh in the 6-hole, that left fielder in the 7th hole, catcher, Stassi / Theis / O'Hoppe, and then Fletcher is your 9-hole second baseman.
And don't forget to throw Soto in there. He could steal a spot.
Right.
If he has a good spring, he could steal a spot. I really like his at bats. You could tell that Reed and Sereno haven't gotten to him yet.
Would the Angels entertain the option, and with the Angels, anything's possible, of if Soto truly indeed impresses and they think he is the guy, would they be willing to have Rengifo learn how to play left field? He knows how to play right, or could Ward go to left? Could they play that jigsaw puzzle game and avoid spending money on a big free agent left fielder?
You just answered your question. You just answered your question. The moment you said avoid spending money, it's like, they're going to do it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. It's like I'm listening now.
That sounds terribly possible.
I sound like I need it. Hey, we have been through 162 games.
We sure have. And they've been great.
Do we need to go to that was like I think I need to check myself in a rehab moment. I think that's where we're at in the season right now.
But the way that you came up with that, it was.
Hey, it's like 19.
And it's so possible.
Hey, it's like 20 people in a pool and one person has the floaty. That's
will live
right. To me, folks.
There you go.
That's right. Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
I'll tell you one thing. I mean, another surprise or something that wouldn't surprise me is if somehow Suzuki found his way back on the field. And even though he went through the retirement, I mean,
Unretired.
Ooh.
anything.
Hey, he coached today. He managed the Angels that latter third of the game. And guess what? They scored 2 runs for him and gave none to Phil Nevin.
There you go. Wrong catcher at the helm.
Oh man.
Yeah, it truly is a perplexing question. Like, even though I shot myself in the foot by saying what I said, with the Angels being a jigsaw puzzle, you know, I'm going to try to look up here who are free agent outfielders that they could spend money on. But this would be, you know, I thought the Angels did pretty good in spending money this past offseason with the exclusion of focusing on the depth of this team. You know, we took Squiddy Poo over, you know, somebody else.
One of the comments I want to say real quick, Armani said Soto and Renifo need to be bench pieces. If those guys are bench pieces, let's just say they went out and got a free agent second baseman or a shortstop to be their number one guy to go along with Fletcher. If those dudes are on the bench, like Fernando said before, if you got comparable hitters like that on the bench, this team could be scary.
Yeah, but
Like
then
I said,
you
you're only as
have to
strong as
get
your
like a
weakest
Carlos Correa. I, in my opinion, if you're gonna go for the depth route, sure, bench sit them on the bench. That's fine. But then you better get somebody better than them.
Mm-hmm.
And who's better than them that we can afford right now? Somebody that's in their, you know, mid-30s maybe?
I would
Like
give you.
I'm looking at these free agents,
Yeah.
especially for outfield, and it's like, okay, the only one that I could really maybe see would be like a JD Martinez, 35. Like, we don't have the money to spend.
And he's a strictly DH guy in Boston. And Otani plays
You're
that
right.
role perfectly.
Yep, you're right. He is.
I would look. The only guy I would actually send those two guys to the bench for would be if somehow we were able to pull Otani and pull Trey Turner. That'd be the only guy. Dansby Swanson, all those other guys, forget it. But if somehow, some way, Turner fell to us at a decent, not over the top price, I'd be like, look, I love you, Renifo, but you got to work your way back onto the field. And I'd say the same thing to Soto. I really would.
Well, the Angels do have a plethora of depth in the farm system when it comes to shortstops.
Mhm.
They have Rengifo at the top, major league level. Soto, clearly major league. He looked pretty good. You got Kyron Parrish, you got Jeremiah Jackson, you got Zach Neto now.
Mhm.
And there's more down in the high A, low A level in Tri-City and Inland Empire. So I wonder if it becomes the case that, hey, if the Angels go out and get a shortstop, do they feel comfortable enough for Soto as a bench piece and use Rengifo in a trade? The Angels haven't traded much, that benefits them. They've been trading the last 2 years as a benefit to other teams, the Syndergaards, the Marshes, the Raisel Iglesiases. The Angels really haven't busted out a trade that benefited them probably since they picked up Justin Upton, 4 or 5 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
So could you use Rengifo as a trade chip? If the price is right, I wonder what you could get for a Rengifo and a pitcher. And
Well, they were going to get a decent return for him when he wasn't proven yet. So the Dodgers saw something in him a couple years ago, and didn't, the Angels, we all know already nixed that one, but his value is probably as high as it's going to be right now. And I would even throw in, if you're going to sweeten the deal and maybe get another player back or a better impact player, throw a Griffin Canning in there. Why not?
Yeah. Or if you want an MLB player ready, hopefully fans don't come at me right now, but let's say it's a deal that you get somebody in exchange for Rengifo and Suarez.
Suarez, ooh.
I know that's a tough one. I'm not saying I do it, or a package of Rengifo, Adele for something. I think the Angels, because they had Rengifo play well and you have some other glimpses of pieces play, you could start fielding some calls. I'm not saying do it, but field a call. The only left fielder on the free agent list, I know Swilly said JD Martinez. The only person I kind of like, it's few and far between out there in the left field position, would be Andrew Benintendi.
Yep.
Slap hitter, left fielder, speedster, top of the order or bottom of the order if you want to lengthen things up a little bit. In center field, Judge, he ain't coming to us.
No.
Brandon Amo, no. Kiermaier, no. Lorenzo Cain, probably going to retire. No, 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 no. Let's go to right field. No, 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 and no. So pretty much it's Benintendi or bust in left field unless you pull off the trade.
And Benintendi wouldn't come at a high price. And like you said, we've been wanting a hitter to be like that, a kind of slap the ball, put the ball in play, limit the strikeouts. That's what we've needed. And you put that core five together with players like that around them, that's going to drive up the RBIs, put pressure on the opposing pitcher, and for the love of God, get Patrick O'Neill to stop saying, we need a home run here.
Yeah. Please. Oh, speaking of Patrick O'Neill, honestly, I'm not going to fault the guy too much. He doesn't have that much play-by-play experience, and from one play-by-play guy to another, he wasn't god-awful. He wasn't amazing, but I wasn't digging him busting the gut and basically pulling out a nut for Stephen Vogt's home run today. I'm like, this guy
it was Stephen Vogt's final game of his career.
Like, I dig it. Like, I think there's a way you could have done it, but I was like doing a couple things and I heard it. I'm like, oh, did Stassi get a home run miraculously? And I look and Oakland's like pounding. I'm like, Stephen Vogt, why the hell did Patrick O'Neill just bust a nut over this? I get it's his last game, but he was like, oh my God, it's gone. Oh my. Like, if it was game 7 of the World Series, I'm like, dude, just say, wow, what a moment. That was incredible. But like, he was busting a nut. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, he should have been like, what a moment for Oakland. That's great. All right, next up. Because like for me, it's like, I'm sitting there like, okay, Stephen Vogt, what has he done in his career? Oh yeah, I remember when that big home run. No. Oh, that play. No.
See, in 2014, he did hit a really big home run against, was it the Tigers?
Okay, but
time 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I still live? Yeah. Oh, yawn fest. No, but hey, okay. No, and this is nothing against Stephen Vogt. Good for him in his career. He had a home run in his last at bat. I'm just like, you were at a 10, Patrick O'Neill. Bring it down to like a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it for me.
Great moment. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but sidebar, Benintendi this year, 304 average with 51 runs batted in.
Yeah. That's all you need.
I'll take it.
That sounds great.
How many stolen bases? Because that's a key too. This team needs to run more next year too. That's the thing that I want to key in on. We have the speed and we didn't use it.
He had 8 stolen bases between the Royals and the Yankees. He had an on-base percentage of 387 with the Royals, 331 with the Yankees. His slugging percentage, shockingly, went up in New York. Oh, I wonder why. They have a 312 wall in right field for a lefty. But he batted better with the Royals, 320 and only 254 with the Yankees. So interesting numbers, split numbers for him. But will you take a 304 average?
Absolutely.
Over Adele's 220, 221?
Wait. How many strikeouts does he have?
Ooh, great question. Strikeouts. If you said below 100, you'd be correct. The total is 77.
That's great.
And he walked 52 times.
How many?
52 walks to 77 strikeouts.
Okay. I like it.
He was 8 of 10 in stolen bases, so an 80%. Now, why, with the Yankees, why would you steal a base when you have Aaron Judge, Stanton, Rizzo? I get why.
Mm-hmm.
And probably that would be the same situation with the Angels. If Benintendi's leading off, why is he going to try to steal with Trout, Ohtani, Rendon, Ward, Walsh? So,
but the speed aspect also comes into play on hit and runs, and also comes into play if Ohtani rips one down the line, he's going to score from first to home. So
correct.
You kind of need that speed on the top, and that's where I think the Angels were missing that because they just didn't have enough guys getting on base ahead of these dudes, So
I agree 100% of the way. It's a very interesting scenario that the Angels are going to play into this offseason because the shortstop market is going to be it's got some meat in it, but that meat is going to be very high priced. The outfield market is not going to be beefy, but it's going to be cheap. Like Benintendi, I'd say Benintendi's like a 3 for $36 million deal, 10 to 12 million a year, because he had an upstart year. That's probably going to get him from 8 to 9 million to probably 10 to 12.
Agreed.
And I don't know if he's a Boris agent, but most Yankees are these days. So there you have it.
Well, if he's a Boris dude, I think that's already a strike against us.
I couldn't find who was Noah Syndergaard's agent. I don't know why it wasn't coming up. So it must not be Boris because, Boris would have been the first thing up there in a heartbeat.
Right.
That's
Let's
true. Did we lose Fernando?
He's muted.
Oh, he's muted. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking too much for him.
No, you're.
Yeah.
when do you guys want to get to some trivia? We could throw some trivia out there if we have.
Let's do it
moment.
now.
Let's do it now.
Ooh, trivia.
Do it
Okay.
now. Do
Okay.
we get to answer?
Well, no, you guys don't, but the fans do. They get to get. Let's give out one of these beautiful Anthony Rendon shirts to start off.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Is that what he wore during batting practice when he hit the left-handed homer?
yeah. That's the thing that
That's-
jinxed him.
That's what he was wearing under his little jacket when he punched Winker.
There you go.
There we go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go with that. We'll start with a Rendon shirt. If first one to answer it correctly on the messages here gets the freaking Rendon shirt. So don't everyone try all at once.
Are we doing the YouTube chat? Is that where we're basing off or Instagram?
It's off Instagram and Lula, but so it has all that combined.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on to Instagram with my phone. I'm gonna keep eyes on see who get her done.
Okay, so let's go with this. The trivia question is, how many home runs did Ken Griffey Jr. finish his career with? First one to get that gets the freaking shirt.
Non-angel questions.
A non-angel question. I'm not going to go angel questions on this one, so surprise.
And if
surprise.
anybody says if anybody brings up a stupid answer, it's Ken Griffey. He might not have been an angel, but it's Ken Griffey. He's managing. He is going to be Mike Trout's hitting coach at the World Baseball Classic.
Right away,
Right.
right away, Leaf got it. And he's a resident Mariner fan, so
Ding!
congratulations.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
he likes to talk trash on Twitter to me all the time.
He's going to probably burn that Rendon jersey for hitting Winker.
He won himself a Rendon shirt. So there you go, Leaf.
Fantastic.
Send me your information on the Heedy page or the other one on this one. And then we have another Rendon shirt. We're going to give away
Dun, dun,
back to
dun,
back.
dun,
Back to back. Another Rendon shirt. So let's see who gets the second
Hopefully your
Rendon.
fiance doesn't take it.
Yeah, exactly. She'll throw that shit
She's
away.
such a big Rendon head.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going through these real quick. Here's a good one. How many grand slams did Derek Jeter hit in his career?
Ooh, archive.
This is a good one.
It's a good one.
So, speaking of Jeter, some people think he should have some sort of ownership stake in the Angels.
Oh,
Yeah, because it went so well for the Marlins.
yeah. I was gonna say
A lot of people are saying
they're gonna get rid of the big A.
a lot of people
like,
think
move it
he
on
should
the
join in the
way.
group, and I'm like, interesting choice. I'm shocked, but okay, you do you.
Okay, so Leafs disqualified. He commented again, but once you get one win, that's it. So we're not going to give away multiple.
But he
Until-
got the right answer.
Yeah. EQ gets it now. EQ called it
EQ
first.
with the win.
EQ gets the Rendon shirt. So there you go.
Congratulations.
And you know what? I actually have a third one. We'll do the last
Oh
one.
my God! It's the trifecta. Wait, he does play third base. He does play third base.
True.
Yeah, we'll go one more because that's the last Rendon shirt I have, and then we'll go back into commentary, and then we'll do some more trivia in a little bit. But we're starting off with a Rendon shirt since that's the least favorite apparently with everybody. So
Is Nats fan on?
Nats fan is on, yes.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
So
Speaking of these trivia questions,
Uh-huh.
as we wait for the answer and who gets another Rendon shirt, I know I was going to bring this up until we found out Phil Nevin was going to return next year as manager.
mhm.
I had if the Angels were to go the managerial route and actually search for a manager, I don't know if you guys had anybody in mind. I had one in mind. I think I put in our little internal chat maybe once or twice. I was going to be really high on MLB Network's Mark DeRosa.
Oh, okay.
You did say that. We talked
know-
about that on the chat.
Okay, yeah, because I've always liked him as an analyst on MLB Network. He does his D-Row deep dives, and he would bust the nut for Trout and Ohtani any day of the week, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves when that happens. But he's going to be coaching the World Baseball Classic, and I think that's going to be like his coming out party to managing. And I think, again, with the Trout and Ohtani combination, I think, like I said, he would have busted a nut for that one. You know, that would have been my pick. I don't know if you guys had any other thoughts on who could have managed the Angels. But I am going to, like I said, I'm going to love Ken Griffey and Mike Trout in the same dugout for like 3 weeks. It's going to be amazing.
That's going to be
What a
great.
dream.
Mike
DeRosa.
Trout MVP year next year. It's going to be Trout versus Ohtani.
Imagine.
I like DeRosa, and I was totally for it on the group chat. But every time I see or hear Mark DeRosa's voice, I think to the MLB The Show segment where he's like, at about 90 to 95, you see seams. Anything after 95 is a blur. That's what I think every time, automatically. It's that exact phrase. I'm like, okay.
He could have been the
Todd,
manager.
Can I ask a trivia question?
Yes, go ahead, man.
All the way from Georgia. How
I-
many peaches do you have?
Oh, by the way, real quick, EQ forfeited his shirt. He wants to give it to Mateo, so Mateo's got the win on the shirt. Then
Ah, you don't want the Rendon shirt? Why not?
he says he has 2 of them already.
Oh. I
love
don't
it.
want the shirt.
I love it.
Okay.
goodness.
All right. So I don't know what Todd's giving out, but this is the trivia question.
It's another Rendon.
So you guys know another Rendon shirt?
Yes, last one.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a question about a third baseman, but it is Angels related.
Okay.
You guys know I'm a big Yanel Escobar guy. How many hits did Yanel Escobar get in his Angels career?
Ooh.
He was with the Angels, what, 2 years? 1 year?
2 years.
2-year career.
I don't
honestly,
have the Lula answers though. I don't. So
I don't
can't
have
pick
the
YouTube.
answers. I'm gonna ballpark something.
Pop me. Message me the answer real quick, Fernando.
Okay, yeah, because
before looking it up. Oh, I saw it now.
You got it.
If that's the answer,
Oh,
I
sorry,
would
sorry,
have
it's the wrong one. It's the wrong one.
been, okay. The second one.
No, okay, there we go.
Okay.
Got it.
This second.
I
one.
would have been so below. I would have said way below that. Honestly.
Dude.
Oh, Rob got it. Rob
Okay.
got it at 253.
Okay, cool.
I don't know
You
if I
know-
would have 200. Damn.
I'll say this. I've definitely talked ad nauseum about Yanel Escobar being a super underrated hitter. The guy was a pure hitting talent. Was he an a-hole? Yes. Was he a locker room cancer? Yes.
True.
You know all the intangibles, but
You know,
the guy can hit. That's all I'm saying.
You know, the intangibles in a player that
right,
we all
good
look for.
You know what?
person.
To
like-
my knowledge, he didn't. Yeah, who needs that? I mean, did
nobody.
he hit his sister in a club like yourself? We did know, not to our knowledge. So there you go. You know,
We don't
Did
condone
is he
domestic
like Trevor
violence.
Bauer?
No, we
That's what I'm
don't.
saying. We don't. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Why on earth?
Oh. Well, that trivia question took a dark turn.
It sure
Really
did.
did.
Hey, nobody here is condoning physical violence toward male or females.
True.
True.
That's
So,
right.
so real quick before we get into one more, we got those 3 out of the way. Rob, you get those. Anyone who wins, if you guys forfeit them or whatever, because Leaf is now saying give that shirt to Randy. I don't even think Randy wants it, so you're stuck with it, Leaf, for right now. But yeah, anyone
Yeah,
who wins,
sorry,
like,
Leaf.
Stuck with it.
yeah, message us. But the next thing we're gonna give away, if you guys have a trivia question, I got one, but it's not Angels related. But it's this right here. We're gonna give away a United States of America Angels
Oh, I
hat.
love that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I have that.
I
hat.
have one, so I don't need to win.
yeah, there you go. USA all the way.
That's sick.
This hat will be given to you if you can get this answer correctly, and that is, who is the all-time leader with home runs for your Chicago White Sox?
My Chicago White Sox.
Ooh.
Anybody's Chicago White Sox.
I have a clue.
Let's see.
I don't want to say anything, but my guess would be someone who was with the White Sox. I believe Was it his whole career or the majority of his career? I know that totally
It-
narrowed down the options.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
damn. I know
You know.
exactly who you're talking about now.
Yeah. Was
Okay,
it
here's
former pitcher
Who
Matt
would've
Latos?
thought?
No, I'm gonna say, was it a former? Can I say the position that I think it is? I
Go
don't know
ahead,
if
because the answer's already in.
Okay, is it Paul Konerko?
No, close. Matt Bedingo guessed that, but it's actually Javier Ortiz with a win.
Frank Thomas.
Frank Thomas, the big hurt.
Oh yeah.
Frank Thomas, yeah.
Okay. True.
Frank Thomas. I don't know how you didn't immediately think about that.
Well, congratulations. We're going to move on, and we'll get back into the trivia in a bit here. If you guys want some more topics to go on, because we have like 4 or 5 more things to give away.
Fantastic. Oh, so yeah. So, how was the venting session? How are we all feeling? Now that it's officially over.
I just want the
You
Dodgers to
know-
get eliminated. That's all I care about.
Well, you know what we haven't heard
Yep.
tonight? We haven't had Roger Lodge call in yet.
Mm-mm. his voice is resting, dude.
He's got resting voice for the off season when the Angels make those moves.
I can only talk so much in this voice, and then it really starts to burn. Burn like my desire for one John Stamos.
Oh, good heavens!
Burn like me after a night out with John Stamos. Burn like my downstairs region after a night with John Stamos. Oh, Johnny. Remember when you and I first met eyes at the Sizzler?
Johnny be good. Johnny be good.
I should have.
Damn,
There
I
you
gotta
go.
go. I gotta get out of here. Bye.
She's like, no comment. No comment. Leave it
I was
now.
hoping
Don't get-
Swilly was going to throw in her Roger Lodge.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to hear hers.
Do it.
I'm good. I need to prepare for next time.
Fair enough. Okay.
She's a that voice is a one night only, a one moment in a lifetime only type voice.
That's correct. And I have to drop it on you guys when you're not ready. So
Yeah.
There you go.
It's got to
Yeah.
be like a WrestleMania, one match only type of thing.
That's exactly right.
Beautiful.
That's exactly
There
right.
we go. We got to all year. We're gonna hype it up for that one moment.
I love it.
Okay, so we've established that shortstop is probably not going to be. What's so funny?
Nah, just your
Your Wi-Fi, I think. is a
Your
little
audio made you
slow.
sound like you were in slow-mo, like the best possible way for that joke of Roger Lodge. It worked beautifully.
Oh, did it?
He's like, whatever,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, no, it's good. No, we're at I'm gonna put a pause for a quick second. Todd, Swilly,
Yeah.
Fernando, listening.
You guys are.
I'm gonna have to pop off of this for a minute because myself and Catella Chronicles were gonna be recording a podcast for the Ducks season preview here in a moment. So if you guys, I don't know how long you guys plan on being.
You don't need to
on
do
for. Hey, listen, go Ducks. Go fly together. Go- Sit king sit. Sit king sit.
Hey.
Ain't all in good fun. Swilly and I are gonna have a fun hockey season now.
Oh, I
that it's
can't
that
wait for
time of
hockey
year.
season. I can't wait.
It's so great.
It's so great.
But I'm gonna have to jet off here because in 14 minutes I have to take off the Angel hat and put on the Ducks hat. But if you guys are around and still at 9:30, I will be more than willing to jump back on.
Okay, that
Probably
might,
not 9:30.
yeah, that's
Probably
pushing
not.
it, bro.
Oh please, come on! I'm up till 2 a.m. We could do this all night.
There you go.
I'm
I-
in Atlanta.
Oh come on! Party till 5 a.m. with us. Let's go.
That's
24
right.
It's like college days. Study as long as you need. But with that in mind, I'm gonna gracefully bow out here.
We're
Just
way
with
past the
scheduling.
college days.
Yeah.
True. With the scheduling conflict, but cheers, Todd, Swilly, Fernando. It's been a pleasure all season long
You
doing
got it.
Angels with you guys.
Heck yeah.
It's been fun. We've climbed hell and high water to get to this point. We got Trout 40 home runs. We didn't
We
get a
did.
90 loss season.
Yes.
So we have some
And Trout 350 home runs.
as well. 350 for Trouty. Otani was spectacular. We had some moments this year. We had some great moments, and we had some lows. We had some highs, but it was a fantastic to do it together. And even though Swilly's a Kings fan and Fernando's a Coyotes fan,
Oh.
stick around for hockey season, folks, because sports ain't done yet, folks.
Exactly.
Like, no, it's the best month for sports.
Let's enjoy it. But I'm going to bow out tonight. Cheers, you guys. We will be doing stuff soon for off-season Angel coverage. There is no day but today, but the Angels will have to live until tomorrow.
There you go.
That's the quota that's going to be my saying to end it here. But cheers, guys. The shameless plug. Follow us, Catella Chronicles, Twitter and Instagram. There's the shameless plug that I must pull every time. But have a fun night. Enjoy the Instagram Live. And before I leave, what are some other giveaways you're giving away? Is there anything spectacular?
Well, I need to get something really good for these because I got this Angels hat right here created by Randy. It's the last one of its kind. We gave out most of those this year. It's a trucker hat. We have this beautiful Hawaiian Angels shirt right here. So that's another good one. And then we also have looks like a long sleeve. Is this a long sleeve? Yes, it's a long. No, it's not a long sleeve, but it's very thick. It'll keep you warm. It's an Angels Patriotic A. And the Coupe de Gras. I've been trying to give this thing away.
We're trying.
Yeah, the Coupe de Gras is this, and I need some recommendations because this can't be some easy question. This has to be something big to give away. This is a 1996 Angels Tim Salmon jersey. It's got the big ass CA on the side. It's got the American League 125-year logo. It's decked out. So this is brand spanking new. It's a XX if anybody wants it, but we have to come up with something big to give it away as a finale for our fans.
Someone needs to create an Angels fight song.
And sing it right now.
There you
Sing
go.
it out, perform it for us.
You need
And
to
we will
record
judge you.
yourself. You need to write a fight song, record it, and tag Halos in the Infield, Catella Chronicles, and Swilly. And we will be your American Idol judges.
Love it.
There you go. It's going to be Roger Lodge singing the Cerritos High alma mater, but an Angels version of it.
All right, the first one.
Will hit the ball.
The first one to ride their bike down Catella live gets it.
There you go.
Oh,
There you
geez.
go.
Before I go, speaking of bikes, either next week or the week after, there's going to be the Catella Chronicles end of season awards, and it's going to be a little bike award, a golden bike, and you can ride it all the way from Angel Stadium to Honda Center. And there's it's going to be like the SB. There's going to be 10 categories of awards to be given out. It's like the SBs. We're going to probably do something like this, an Instagram Live, YouTube thingy. Todd, you're invited. Fernando invited. Swilly invited. We'll be messaging each other, but the awards show, the end of year awards are coming soon, presented by Catella Chronicles.
Dude,
That
that's
work?
such a great idea. We should do a fundraiser donation bike ride event. Instead of a 5K, it's a 0.1K where we ride our
Cross the street with your bike. Oh
From
my
the
Big A
goodness.
to the pond.
Big A to the pond. That's all it's about.
Perfect.
Can you guys
gosh.
legally stop traffic to do this event? We have that one aggressive dude.
We'll make it
what's his
happen.
name? Jeremy DeWitt, who smacks on the fake cop. There you go.
I think we could work
You
something
can't
out.
drive here.
We could do it.
Yeah.
We could do it. But all right,
Stay
guys.
tuned.
Time for Ducks hockey. Pleasure, guys. Enjoy the rest of the Instagram Live, and we'll talk soon. And live long and go Halos.
There you go.
Have a good
All right,
night.
have a good night,
to see
buddy.
you.
Cheers, guys. Cheers. Have a good one.
All right, there's Dominique right there. So yeah, if you guys can, you and Swilly can muster up something difficult for that last one,
Well, what if I want the jersey?
I don't know. I mean,
But you have to answer the question.
yeah.
Okay, fine. Fair.
Fair. Okay. Well, let me give away the hat real quick. Who has the lowest batting average in Major League Baseball history? First one to answer that gets the hat.
Joe
Is it Todd?
Adele.
Although I will tell you a funny story on why I hate Squid and why I can relate to these hitting coaches being so bad in a minute. Remind me.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's see. Answers are coming in. They're looking for Swilly's answer. Anthony Gonzalez says Rendon. So no, it's not Rendon. Not Renifo. We're talking about baseball. It's not. And Grillmaster gets it. The Grill Master gets it. Chris Davis, formerly known of your Baltimore Orioles.
Chris, oh, what a guy.
Yep.
The worst batting average?
Worst batting average in Major League history with, I guess,
How
the at-bats
funny.
that got him there or whatever. Yeah. He's 067.
Ooh.
That's
That,
terrible.
that can't, in a single season?
In a single season, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to
That
say
was after the
because-
year that he hit all those home runs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'cause he was
Oh
good for a
man, I
little
forget
while
about
there.
that.
They paid him to go away, basically.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Crazy. It was so recent.
yeah. I'll tell you my real quick story, though, about when I
Yes.
played travel ball a few years back. I thought I was hot stuff, and I got the nod to be your number 3 hitter in the lineup. And I went out there against guys I didn't. This was a more advanced travel ball league, and I was hitting all the pitches before, but these guys were throwing the mid 80s, and I hadn't seen that really good fastballs. I had a long swing. I went up there, and I was moving my bat too much, not lifting my legs, standing straight, just all the bad characteristics of a hitter. And long story short, I struck out my way to the number 9 spot to being really good in the outfield, but not taking the hitting, seriously, to where they brought me in for defensive purposes like Squiddy Poo. And I hate Squiddy Poo because if he changes his stance like Marsh did, he'd become a better hitter. And it took me 2 years of just failing and almost being kicked off the team for being crappy and striking out, which I don't blame him,
Wow.
to finally realize I needed to change something up. And I didn't get my power back, but I started to slap the ball in it and think good things happen. So that's why I get so mad at Squiddy
This was
Poo.
for a Sunday league?
No, this was for a Saturday league. It was a travel ball thing.
What's the difference?
We played.
Oh, okay.
One's on Saturday and then the other one is on Sunday.
Yeah, we usually get too drunk Saturday night after a game so we could rest up on Sunday. That's what.
There
it
you
is.
go.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. How good would you say you were at baseball? If you were like honest with
Ooh.
yourself.
Yeah.
Honest with myself in my peak, I was 6'3", 185. I had a lot of upper body strength, and I made it to the Pirates spring training facility. So I played.
Really?
Yeah, I played. I was a walk-on, and I was doing good. And then the only thing that got me cut was not myself, not my play, but getting a phone call from back home saying I'm pregnant. I'm like, there goes my career.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
Wow, I didn't
Okay.
know that. That's really cool.
yeah, I was pretty decent out of high school. I ain't gonna toot my own horn, but
Okay.
I was
there
all
it
right.
is.
Show me
you
your
go.
honks.
Yeah, I miss
That
it.
needs to be a soundbite that every time you do that, it's the Roger line. Show me your honks.
Give me your honks.
Oh,
So
yeah,
good.
that's a different context. That's not okay. I was good enough to get 3 major league tryouts. 2 was with Atlanta. 1 was with Arizona. My favorites are when people find out, they're like, "Oh, how'd it go?" I'm like, "Well, it's so good that now I travel the country killing rats."
You
It's so good I
exterminated
had
your
to-
chances at playing.
Ooh, but
There you go. There you go.
wow. I was so proud of myself because I played college ball, but now I mean, let me just step back for a second.
Hey, I didn't even play college baseball.
I didn't either.
Oh, well. Yeah, but
There you go.
I mean, it's different. Softball, baseball, different.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know, man.
In
Softball
terms of
is
path,
hard.
in terms of path, it's different. Like you go, like softball players go get a degree. Baseball players have the chance to go play professional baseball.
Yeah, that's true. And like in the softball world, like the pinnacle is college softball. For a established school in the
Yes.
Women's World Series. Like that's like the
Yes.
mountaintop for softball.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's like ESPN prime time now, which is amazing. I love
Yeah.
seeing college softball on so many channels. And I mean, I'm biased, but it's just so entertaining, I think, to a lot of people. But yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, they don't show professional softball on TV. It's just not a thing.
I
Which
think
is
it
weird.
should. I think it should be because I mean, look, Fernando knows my stance on WNBA. I think college softball or professional softball is way more exciting than the WNBA. Just saying.
I'm biased, but I completely agree with you. I mean, it's so like, especially comparing it to baseball, it's so much more fast paced. Like these girls are making similar plays, to college baseball players on a smaller field, though. Like, I again, I'm extremely biased, but it's so fun to watch, and I would much rather watch softball.
And with a bigger ball, I faced a high school, probably one of the best premier softball pitchers back in my day in high school. And she pitched against us because, she was saying that she could strike a few of us out. And we were all laughing at her because we were a lot more male chauvinist back then. But no, she struck me out.
On a rise ball or what?
No, she had one that was a slider. She threw one. It was just, man, like a rise ball. I let it go because it went like, she kind of lost the angle on it, kind of came in on me. But she threw one that just dipped out of the zone, and I whiffed at it nasty. So they got some movement. They're not.
I mean,
remember
Pujols like looking silly against Jenny Finch? Like Jenny Finch embarrassed the hell
Jenny
out of
Finch
Pujols.
doesn't fuck around. No.
Yeah, and that was like peak Albert Pujols. Like that was like La Máquina Albert Pujols, and he looked silly.
Exactly.
Was that pitcher local?
She was
Is he
local.
here?
She was local. Yeah.
What was her name?
I don't remember. That was
Don't remember. Oh,
20
okay.
years ago. But
Okay. No, I was just curious because there's a lot. I mean, similar to baseball, there's a lot of really good talent that comes out of Southern California for softball, and it's such a small world. So I was just curious.
oh, it is. I mean, like when
What position did you play?
I played corners. I mainly played first though. Because I probably would have played third in high school, but I played with two sisters that went to Oklahoma and Nebraska. So I was not going to play over them. So I played first in high school and in college.
All right.
I could see you as a first baseman. I could see that for sure.
I'm not. I mean, I'm like 5'7". I have long limbs, so I made it work. I actually really enjoyed it. I liked being involved in a lot of plays. So
That's fair. Okay.
I know when
I can see that.
when Courtney came on and she played for our softball team last year, dude, she was cranking them because she played college too. So
okay,
we know you women can hit. That's for damn sure.
we can. It's true.
Absolutely.
Do you guys still play slow pitch?
We were playing for that tournament, whatever, last year, and it was fun. We Fernando wanted to get a baseball one going this year, but
Okay.
I don't know if we're gonna do that or not. We still might try to do softball again, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I wonder if this time maybe we should do both. Maybe like we can do a softball game and a baseball game. Like there was a lot of people mad last year that we couldn't do a baseball game, but obviously softball is way more inclusive than baseball. Not that women can't play baseball; they obviously can. But there's a lot more women who would be afraid to step onto a plate in a baseball
For
sense
sure.
than in a softball sense, which is, much more, potential to be co-ed. I just don't want people to feel excluded. And then there's some people, men in general, who just don't have the ability to play baseball because it's such a different game. Softball is just so much more casual, and I feel like it has more potential
can
to be
be.
fun for everybody.
Absolutely.
At least slow pitch. We were playing fast pitch. I mean, I would look like an idiot up there.
Yeah, I don't remember
Luke,
the last time I swung at a 60-mile-per-hour pitch. It's been a while.
Well, the next time we do get a tournament going, you got to come with us, Swilly. You got to get. up
Yeah,
and play.
for sure. If you guys ever play slow pitch, wanted to, I play a gross amount of slow pitch, so just let me know and I'm there.
You got it. You got
I'm
it.
still a professional Sunday leaguer when I'm actually in Texas.
I do play on Sundays, and right now it's tough because of football season, but
Oh yeah.
it is what it is.
Well, let's get into one of three left that we have to give away real quick, and it's in honor of Kurt Suzuki. This Hawaiian shirt, it's Angels Hawaiian shirt right here. We'll give this away if you guys can answer or gals can answer the question: who was the oldest MLB player to finish, or what was the age and the oldest player to finish his career in the MLB? Let's see if we can get that.
Ooh.
First
Well,
one.
Albert Pujols, 57.
Let's see, man. Let's see, because Albert Pujols is around 60 or something right now, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
So till we get the
Yeah,
papers.
show me your birth certificate.
Uh-oh. I have to go to the judges on this one, Fernando, Swilly.
Uh-huh.
Oh no. What
Ra-
happened?
Randy got it. Do we give him the shirt?
I mean, yeah, it's a giveaway T-shirt. It's not like it was the salmon jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, if it was a salmon
I'd give it
jersey,
a-
I would say no. But since it's
Yeah,
I'm
I'd be like,
just
no,
joking.
Randy, that's for the fans. No, yeah, no, I'd give it. It's a Hawaiian shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, give it to him.
I could see him rocking this. So
There you go.
Jamie Moyer, he says he doesn't want the shirt.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
you get the shirt, Randy.
You got the shirt
You
now.
you're
Sure,
getting
and you have
it
to
whether
take a
you like it or
photo.
not.
Yeah, you have to take a photo wearing it at a
Yes,
Fresno
perfect.
Bulldogs game. We'll buy you a ticket for the football game.
He says I
All
don't
of a
want
sudden, there's an Irishman streaking on the field with nothing but a fig leaf and an Angels shirt.
it. And Randy, I got to talk Randy right now. Fuck, I don't want that fucking shirt.
Dead.
Oh man. Well,
Yeah.
you can gift the shirt away to somebody, Randy. Dosadilla wants it. So if you want to give it to that person, then there you go. So that's up to you, man. Do you guys have another trivia question? You want me and then save the salmon one before we get out of here?
This is for the shirt.
Yeah, this is for the gray shirt. This is for that American shirt right here.
I mean, I could find one, but I don't have one off the
Yeah,
top of my
I'm
head.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm looking one up real quick. It's got to be a good one.
Yeah, it's got to come through here. I don't know if it's showing up here. Yeah, because it looks
All right. MLB pitcher Kirby Yates pitched this many innings with the Angels for his
Oh.
career.
Okay. Do you hear that? Kirby Yates pitched how many innings for his Angels career?
I sent you the answer.
Okay. All right, so let's see what happens.
That one's going to be a pretty easy one to find. I mean, and Kirby Yates is a pretty established major league closer.
Has he come back yet, by the way?
I think he came back for a short period of time this year and got hurt again.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, he only pitched 7 innings with Atlanta.
And we're getting different numbers here. This one's actually taking the longest right now.
Is it?
Oh, Ace got it.
Yeah, 4:43.
Ace
Okay,
got
yeah,
it.
Ace is probably the one who I figured would have gotten it.
Yeah, some people said 27. There was 47, 63, 3, 44. So
Mateo put 4, right? I
Yeah.
thought I saw a 4 there, which is pretty close.
that was pretty close. But Ace swoops in for the victory. So she gets that
The
one.
answer 1. 1 inning. It was 1 inning.
You know what's funny about this so far? We've given away three of the things we've given away. People give it to other people already. So yeah.
I love
People
it.
like being right. That's all. Some people just want to be
It's a
right. at
pride
something. They don't
thing.
really. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the correct answer. It was only 1 inning. So
Wow.
there you go. Ace gets that one, and then anything else you guys want to get to before because we could always draw up the what is it called, the suspension. Oh, God, why can't
The
I talk?
suspense.
Yeah, the suspense.
Yeah. I'm trying to think here before we give away the salmon. What else is there to talk about? We talked about any potential moves. Okay, so give me one really positive thing about this season and one negative thing. Like when you think back to the season in 10 years, what's one positive and one negative thing you're going to remember? Let's start off with Swilly. I'll give you like a minute if you need to think.
Damn, that's hard. To be honest, there's ooh. I mean, I it's tough because I feel like there are a lot of like large negative things for me. One of the ones that I think of first, and maybe I stand alone on this, and that's totally fine. But I think looking back, I think that the Madden firing played a really big role in the way that this season ended up going. And you guys know that I'm really big on intangibles. That's like something that it frustrates me that more people don't talk about, things like team chemistry, things that you can't track, right? And I think that internally that played a really big role in the way that things ended up going this season. Sure, the 14 game streak, yeah, that for sure played a part. But I think that letting him go, because a lot of people thought he was the guy, right? So I think that looking back 10 years from now, thinking that we fired Joe Madden, I think that, I don't know. I think it played a bigger part than some people might like to admit.
Okay. What about a positive?
A positive was that the worst part of our game this year was not our pitching. I think that our pitching was actually pretty well. It was pretty good this year.
Pretty good.
I have a few just, random things written down. We were top 10 in the league in ERA and hits allowed, which is great. Thinking that we had a 3.77 ERA. I was pretty surprised to see that number. But we were bottom 10 in almost every single hitting stat. So, I think the pitching this year greatly improved. We drafted all pitchers, one draft, or not this past draft, but the draft before. So I think the pitching this year was a big positive, and I'm excited to see how things move in the future once our bullpen and our rotation have gelled more.
And it's funny that you bring up like the bottom stats for the offense, because actually it's really just the final 3 spots. Like that was the issue. It was the 7, 8, and 9 hole. Actually, I believe the Angels are one of only 2 teams this year to have 3 players with over 20 home runs.
Really?
Not the Yankees. Actually, I think the Yankees do now, but the Dodgers don't. The Giants don't. I think it's just the Angels and the Yankees that have 3 batters with over 20 home runs. Taylor Ward, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani.
Wow. That's an interesting stat.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Angels have been very front-loaded with their lineup. It's the beginning was never the issue. Even the top 4 guys, 5 guys even, weren't the issue. But yeah, it was the Velasquez at the bottom,
Right.
trying to replace, David Fletcher in that lineup.
We were so hung up on him, and it was so frustrating. And going off of that point too, I do agree that the 7, 8, 9 was an issue 100%. But I also don't think, and I don't know if this is Nevin, I don't know who this is, but we were not allowing the batting order to gel at all.
Mm-hmm.
We were second in the league with the amount of players on our roster with 65. We had 65 different players on our 40-man roster at one time. To me, that screams no chemistry. No time to gel, figure out, okay, this is who bats in front of me. This is who bats behind me. That's huge. And I also think that having so many middle infielders played a part in that as well. The middle infield is a huge part of your field. I mean, we're talking about the shortstop position. That's arguably one of the most they're all important, but shortstop is huge. So I do agree. Definitely bottom half of the lineup, but we couldn't trust anybody to just hang out there for a little bit and get some at-bats and just gel.
And you know what it boils right back down to? Everything you said is absolutely correct. The frustration was very valid. But what it really boils down to, you've said it, I've said it, even on the first podcast where you joined us, we had both said it's an organization that does not have a sense of direction. And it was put on full display this season, because if this organization had a sense of direction, they wouldn't have jumped around to 60 different guys. They're over here throwing roster spots like they're Oprah Winfrey.
Right.
You get a chance on the 40-man. You get a chance. You get a chance. They went after guys like Jonathan VR. They claimed him up the waiver wire. How'd that work out for him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this organization just loves to do that. And you know what? Near the end of the season, there started being a little bit of success. Why? Because you went all in on guys like Rengifo. You went all in on guys like Adele. You went all in on guys like Soto. You gave the young kids an opportunity, and some good things happened. I've said it since last season. Nowadays, you can't buy a team. You truly have to build one. You can definitely buy and clog some gaps with the free agent market, but you have to build a winning culture from within.
I agree. Also, how demoralizing to be moved up and down like 5 times in a season.
Yeah, and then not get claimed. Like look at Mike Myers. He's been DFA'd twice, and he didn't get claimed either time.
Jeez.
Yeah,
it's
and
gotta be rough.
they did something with him that was shocking and making him a starter, and he actually did all right. So we'll see. Maybe that helps him get another contract moving forward with somebody else. I'd be shocked if he came back with all the pitching we have. So,
Yeah.
But my
You never know with this organization, man.
yeah, my I can go two ways about it. The 14-game losing streak was demoralizing, and Squiddy Poo. Him for me
Well,
was
which one of those was your positive?
Well,
Well,
those
Yeah, you were supposed to one positive, one negative.
I'm going 2 negatives, 1
Two
positive.
negatives.
2 negatives, 1 positive.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to cheat on this one. I couldn't quite decide. I can't stand Squiddy Poo. Every time I see him in the batter's box, I get angry. I just get angry because I see a hitter that really doesn't give a fuck and is abusing his right to be a Major League Baseball hitter. And it's like if he hadn't got hurt, I wonder how many more at-bats he would have. I mean, he was having a ton of at-bats more than guys that were producing off the bench, and it was getting annoying seeing the fact that, okay, I can see if you start him, or if you play him in the end of games for defensive purposes, I get it.
Yeah.
But we were playing this dude whole games. He was taking away at-bats from guys. And then when it came down to a situation where we needed a big hit, Stassi was right in front of him or Suzuki was right in front of him. We had no problems pinch hitting for them. But Squiddy Poo, we leave him the at-bat with 2 outs and 2 on in a 1-run game. It made no sense when the guy had so many holes through his at-bat. I mean, his bat disappeared more than some of the stuff I've been showing on the on this live with a green screen. I mean, it turned away when he would swing. I mean, it was terrible.
Yeah.
And the one thing that made me I had a lot of angry moments this year at this team for just reasons. But that game when he broke the losing streak and he hit that home run, you've just lost 14 games in a row. You have a batting average at that point that was in the 180s. You got lucky and hit a hanging curveball into the right field bleachers to pretty much put the game away against Boston. What does this asshole do with no proven resume all year? He looks back with a cocky stare at his dugout like, yeah, that's me. That's me. That's all me.
Yeah. And he points at the clubhouse.
Yeah, I was done right there, bro. I mean, if I was at the stadium, I would have jumped over the I would have tried to hit him like that, and then I would have pulled a Bobby Wagner on that guy that he hit at the SoFi the other night.
Oh my God. That was amazing.
I would have did that with freaking
Squiddy Poo?
With Squiddy Poo. I was
You would
so
have
angry.
knocked him on his ass too.
I would have
probably.
I would have.
Yeah,
but,
the guy weighs the guy barely. Actually, he ended up not hitting his weight. I think he weighs like 210. He was I think he was batting 196.
196. Yeah, I mean,
And somehow he squeaked out 349 plate appearances and 125 games.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa.
So you're
He
playing.
played in 125 games, and this guy batted 196 and had an on-base percentage of 236.
You see why I didn't like him? You see why he made me angry? Because at least if he's walking, or at least if he's bunting and putting the ball in play, I'm happy with that. He didn't do none of that.
He only walked 15 times. He walked
15 times?
times.
And he had a starting position on a professional baseball team, and he walked 15 times.
Exactly.
All right, which one of you guys is going to guess how many strikeouts he got this year? How many times
Jesus.
did Squiddy Poo strike out this season?
You said he had how many plate appearances?
He had 349 plate appearances. He only had 322 at-bats.
Oh, right, because of the 15 walks. Right.
Yeah, so that's perspective.
Dang. I'm gonna go like
Hey, and fielder's choices.
I'm gonna go like I'm gonna go like 90.
I'm gonna do the Price is
All right.
Right. 89.
119.
Whoa!
Oh, wow.
I was oh man. I underestimated him. Overestimated him?
It really puts it into perspective. You know, I am nobody to talk about anyone getting an opportunity in the major leagues. You know what, man? Good for him. Get paid, brother. But, you know, when you have guys like Soto, God, even guys like Zach Neto, I guarantee you Zach Neto is going to walk more than 15 times.
Well, let's put you in perspective, and then they don't build them like this anymore. But I saw a stat the other day when Judge struck out for his 167th time this year. Tony Gwynn for his career struck out 167 times. So
Wow.
I thought he struck out like 2-something in his career.
now 167, dude. That's contact.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tony Gwynn Jr. was the best, you know, not Tony Gwynn Sr., sorry,
Yeah.
was one of the best pure hitters we've ever seen. You know, the guy can hit anything.
We're just looking for a hitter that can do the fraction of what he did. Just a fraction. Not even like half, you know, because it's like impossible, but just contact here and there. I mean, Squiddy
give
Poo.
yourself a chance. I mean, I'm curious as well how many of those are looking and how many of them are swinging, but
Well, that's
Yeah.
the other thing I will say. I wish Randy brought this up, and I think Fernando did too. They said this year we wish we kept a stat on how many times we gave the Nacho Night Award away for how many hat trick strikeouts or golden sombreros. This team led the league easily in strikeouts. It was
they
pretty
did.
embarrassing.
Led the league.
But I will say my positives. I'll just sum it up real quick. It's got to be Ohtani. Got to be Ohtani.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ohtani, you know, last year we saw the greatest single season by a player. This year, he outdid himself.
Mhm.
Yep.
You know, I made a tweet a couple days ago. For any of you guys who are wrestling fans, The Undertaker was, 21-0 at WrestleMania at one point. He was undefeated. The dead man was Mr. WrestleMania. 21-0. Paul Heyman, who used to be Brock Lesnar's manager, was always talking about, oh, you know, Brock Lesnar's going to break the streak. Brock Lesnar is the one. I tweeted that Ohtani is the one. He is the exception. You know, Aaron Judge, I'll tip my cap to him. He did something cool. You know, he got a triple crown, I believe. He ended up doing it.
Mm-hmm.
He did end up doing it.
He ended up doing it. But you know what? I've seen a triple crown in my lifetime. I'm not going to say it's not impressive, but I've seen a triple crown in my lifetime.
A few.
I've never seen what I saw Shohei do. Over 30 home runs and
Over
what was it? 15
strikeouts.
wins.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that too.
And 15 wins.
Should have been
And
16.
over 150 innings pitched.
Yep.
So what more can you want out of a baseball player? You know, and that's the beauty in baseball. Any baseball fan, and I don't mean anybody who can sit down and watch a baseball game. I mean anybody who listens to our shows, follows this page, and just follows this team religiously will understand what I'm saying. Baseball is the most beautiful game on the planet because it's one of the only games where you consistently see things that are impossible. Shohei Ohtani is impossible. We never, ever thought that we'd see what we are seeing out of him. And he keeps on breaking the barriers on what a human can do and what his potential is. He is out of this world, man. It's such a privilege to watch Ohtani.
Yeah.
And I can legitimately tell you as a true baseball fan, I don't care if he was a Padre, a Mariner, hell, even a Yankee or a Dodger, I would still always respect Ohtani.
Agreed.
How can you not? He on and off the field, he is like just a breath of fresh air and just so humble. And so, yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I don't care what uniform he has on. He's still one of one. And the one person that he gets compared to is Babe Ruth. And he's better than Babe Ruth by a long shot.
And I hate how people won't let that go. People are like, oh, I don't know. Is he as good as Babe Ruth? I'm like, dude,
Oh,
come
God.
on. We're completely different planes.
Yeah, let's see
Yeah.
let's see what happens if Ohtani tries to, before a game like Babe Ruth did, smoke a cigar, drink some whiskey, and eat a couple hot dogs. Let's see his performance that day, how it would change. Because I mean, you can
I
get
don't know.
away.
He might throw a no-hitter knowing Ohtani.
Well, you can get away with that back in the day, but you can't get away with that nowadays. He's facing the best of the best from not just this country, not just from Ohio, from all over the world. So Ohtani's by far the greatest. And like Swilly was saying, he's a great guy. He jokes around when he hits somebody. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He tips his hat.
Yeah.
Very humble. He
Yep.
he jokes around with the catchers. Well, like you said earlier, I think Swilly said it too. He was like, "Hey, it's all right. I give up the no hitter. Let's get back to the game." That's cool. And I think that's why the fans love him so much. That's why the players love him so much. I mean, you can't go wrong with this guy right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
He's-
And he played
he's
so
so
many
much fun
games
to
this
watch.
year, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think
He
he only
had-
missed
he-
like 5 or 6 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's because he was forced to miss those games, right?
Yeah, they sat him on purpose. It wasn't because he wanted to. Because if from what we've heard, what we've been told, it's like you got to pretty much force him to sit out. He doesn't want to,
Yeah.
sit out. So
Yeah. I mean, the fact that for 2 years we've been privileged enough to see a healthy Ohtani, that alone has to go. You can't go unnoticed.
mhm.
I mean, we know the kind of work that guy puts into everything. If you show up early in an Angels game during batting practice for like the 10, 15 minutes you actually get to see them before, the away team takes the field, Ohtani is out there throwing. I hardly ever went to an Angels game and saw Shohei Ohtani just not doing anything. Sure, sometimes he might not have been out, but most of the time he was out there throwing with Ippei or, working with Matt Wise in the bullpen, something.
I agree. So did we
But,
agree on
my
it?
negative?
Oh, you're negative. I'm sorry.
Oh, right.
14
Ohtani
game
was your
losing
positive.
streak.
That's right.
Yeah, Ohtani was my positive. 14-game losing streak was the negative. I mean, talk about a historic losing streak and talk about something that defines the season. I mean, if you take out the 14-game losing streak, we're talking about a different season.
Yeah.
It might not have been a playoff season, but there's a big difference between finishing over 500 or close to 500 and just landing on your face again.
I agree.
Yep.
Well, let's get to the coup de grace. Do we come up with something that we're going to offer here as far as a question? Make this hard or what?
Make this hard.
Come on, come on, dude. Let's keep it PG here.
I wasn't even thinking about that, you sicko. I was
We
trying to
have
think of a
Hunter
freaking
out.
question.
Also,
Yeah,
I'm
there's
the
a
bad guy.
lady in the
Question, you're the one who
room.
took us
Please. Thank you.
Yeah, Fernando. God damn it.
You're the one who was thinking like that, brother. I'm trying to think of a question here.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to be a productive member of society.
Sure you
I'm
are.
sitting in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This is for a good prize.
Yeah, this is
I
for
just
an
wanna throw something in
Excelente
there.
prize.
For
I
real.
know.
This jersey literally will cost whoever wins it if they were to pay out of pocket $150.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is a good hookup that I have. That's why I'm giving it away because it's a promotional deal. Because otherwise, I'd keep it myself. I already have one, but I'd still keep it because it's legit. I mean, most jerseys and knockoffs, they don't have the numbers on the front, they don't have the patches, but this has the year from they had the 125 years of baseball. It's a Nike jersey, so I mean it's legit. It's really legit.
I mean, should it be
Well-
Angels related or should it be non-Angels related? Should it be Tim Salmon related?
I have one about Artie Moreno, but I mean, it might be easy.
Mm. See, we need something difficult to where it's not like everybody answers at the same time. We need someone. We need one of those ones where it could be like sort of a. This is where the show prep comes in, so that's on me.
Yeah, right. I was in a car.
I was supposed
Where
to be
did Roger
prepared.
Lodge go to elementary school? I know he's told us like 1,000 times. I just forget. I'm the pride of Catella High School. Or, well, he's the pride of Cerritos High.
Yeah, I was a leprechaun.
Oh my god.
He's on the Fuller House Wikipedia page.
Oh my gosh, how?
Born in Fontana. With Helio Chavez.
Oh, here I got a really good one, but it's obscure. I don't know if anyone.
Okay,
will get it.
hey. I mean, let's give it a shot, right?
Yeah, let's give it a shot. I mean, if no one else got anything, I'll roll with this one.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
I
Okay.
have nothing.
All right, here we go. This is for the Tim Salmon jersey.
If I get it right though, I
Okay.
win.
Okay. Fine.
I'm just kidding. I won't
Hey,
do
no,
that.
I'm
But I
really
really
okay.
want
I don't
it.
care.
Well, I'm gonna get some more promotional jerseys, and I'm gonna hand them out to our staff too, because you guys deserve it. You guys have done a good job this year. So obviously, I want to get one out to Fernando. So you know,
Fernando for sure.
absolutely. So the question is this: what pitcher gave up the most home runs to Willie Mays?
Okay.
Babe Ruth.
Let's-
I can't even pretend I know this.
yeah, well, Grillmaster's like, make a question nobody knows. Well, that's
Ooh.
That's
There you go,
one. Yeah.
Grill Master.
yeah, you got your
Make a
wish.
question
Dan.
not even Willie Mays himself knows.
Let's see if you can get it. So the question again is, what pitcher gave up the most home runs to Willie Mays in his career? The first ones that are coming in is Drysdale Jimmy. Oh my goodness. Adosa Dilla knocks it out of the ballpark. Warren Spahn is the answer.
There you go.
So congratulations, Adosa Dilla. You get your Tim Salmon jersey.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Love to see it.
Yes. Thank you for everybody participating all year. And next year, me and Fernando for the podcast possibly will have stuff to give away on the podcast. So you could win in the comments next year. And then also for the post games, we're going to have more stuff. This year was really difficult because there was a lot going on. Fernando was moving. He had the job situation. I had a job situation. I had all kinds of crazy drama. So we really didn't keep up with the prizes like we did the previous year. But next season, we promised it's going to roll a lot better. We have a sponsor and possibly another one coming aboard. So things are going to be looking up for the 2023 season. And hopefully you
I have
guys
2 more potential sponsors too. So
see, there you go. So
Wow.
Fernando's been working it. Fernando's also been working all the interviews. I mean, the Scott Spezio one, Swilly knocked it out of the park with Fernando. I just chimed in every now and then. He's gotten
He was
all
too
these.
starstruck.
Yeah, I was. You thought I was
You
starstruck
were?
with Gooby. I was just. My legs are going crazy. So
Oh, I love
you guys got to get better with that, man.
with what?
You said I was good.
No, I'm saying with not getting so starstruck. I mean, no, you were good, but I mean, you were still starstruck.
Like people that I watched when I was like 9 years old.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
see, when you get really cool with them, then you're texting with Scott Spezio
Right.
about what's happening for the Angels game. See,
Right. That's
he
fair.
just followed me on Instagram today. I did fanboy a little bit about that.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
sick.
Well, it is
Oh,
pretty
he
cool
followed me on my
because
personal page.
Sick. I mean, he did say he would come back.
yeah,
Coaching staff.
we
He
may
did
have an
say-
opening hopefully if Nevin opens his eyes.
That would be insane.
I was texting Mark Sweeney a couple days ago about if he thought that Phil Nevin was going to come back. He didn't give me any kind of insight, but he was
Sure.
like, I hope he comes back. Because they
Well,
were obviously teammates back on the Padres. And hey,
Right.
Phil Nevin came back. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Everybody likes Nevin. So
Yeah,
Todd
he,
did.
what I hear.
I just didn't like how he handled the lineup, but it's all good. I mean, like again, if he could work wonders next year, a win's a win. I really don't care. So it's all good with that.
Right.
But there you
closing
go.
remarks?
Yeah, closing remarks. Anybody?
Ooh, closing remarks. Is there anything that I didn't talk about?
I mean, I guess we didn't really talk much about Otani's new contract, right? I mean, maybe you guys
Yeah.
talked about it at a different time, but
We did
1
not.
year, 30 mil, biggest pay bump in an arbitration year ever. Like, how are we feeling? We feeling good? We feeling not sure? How we
Honestly, I kind of wanted to see what an arbitration hearing with Otani would have looked like. Like, could you imagine him being like, "I'm worth $60 million," and the team being like, "You're not worth that. Nobody's worth that," and him being like, "I don't know. Nobody's ever done what I've done before," and the team's kind of like, "Ugh."
Right.
What can I say to that? Like, literally, there's no amount of money that he probably couldn't have made an argument for because he's the one.
Right. but they settled on 30 million, which I've told you guys, it seems low to me. I mean, obviously it's a lot of money, but
I mean, it is the highest arbitration eligible,
yes,
salary ever given. It blew Mookie Betts money out of the water, but I mean,
Right.
Mookie Betts is proving that he's not the superstar compared to Mike Trout. It's not, he's kind of phasing out.
right.
It was basically an opportunity for us to have good faith with him, and his staff and his people,
His camp.
his camp, and I think it's going to work out in the long run. And like Landon wants me to do the Roger Lodge in honor of it, but when Roger found out he got that $30 million, because it's going to open up, it's going to give us exclusive rights to him and buy us a little bit more time. But basically, Roger was like, "Oh, Tony, oh yeah, we got $30 million. Oh, I got 30 more reasons to come up into the plate with you, buddy." So,
Oh God.
so
That's great.
I think that's what it is right now. You've got good faith with Ohtani, and I think what's going to happen is, and I see where Swilly's saying 30 million is low, but I think we're going to see upwards to 40 to 50 with him in the long run.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Although I don't know about how many years.
That's the big question.
Yeah.
That's the big question, because
Yeah.
if you're looking at, let's just say 50 million for the whole, per year, and they're paying two players for the price of one, or they're paying for two players with, you know what I mean. It's late.
It's late.
yeah,
It's
it
been
is.
a long season.
It sure has. But if you do the math, I mean, already with 6 years, that's 300 million right there. So if you're looking to lock up the unicorn long term, that's going to cost you some money. That's 500 million for 10 years.
Yeah, I can't even pretend to tell you that I know what an Otani extension would look like. Do you guys think that if there is an Otani extension happening, it happens this offseason, or do you think he waits to see how this year goes? This year meaning 2023.
I don't think it happens any earlier than maybe the trade deadline. I don't think this offseason though.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it's got. Well, actually, you know what? I think they're going to try to lock him up for the season. I think that's going to be their number one priority. They almost have to. Yeah.
Try for sure.
So speaking of the offseason, will the Angels have a new owner set by the start of opening day?
No.
I wish so bad, but I don't think so.
Okay, so you guys don't think there'll be an owner? Because I know the owner won't officially own the team yet, because obviously it takes, almost a full year? It's
Yeah.
like 8 or 9 months to officially acquire the team. So you guys don't even think there'll be somebody set to buy the team by opening day?
Go ahead, Sully.
No, I'm thinking because I think something that plays a part too is that there is another MLB team for sale, and I know that they are
The
gonna
Nationals?
wanna hurry along one of them because they don't want two for sale at one time. So which one is it? Is it the more appealing one with Trout and Ohtani in Southern California, or is it the latter? I don't know. I'm hopeful.
Well, you also have the Phoenix Suns for sale, and that's another thing, right?
Right.
Different sport,
Yes.
but I mean, they're also going for projected $3 billion. Sorry.
Wow.
So I mean, that's
Incredible.
3 organizations there. 2 of them in
Yeah.
baseball, 1 of them in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a lot of money. Potentially $9 billion.
I can't
could
see
be-
the Suns being worth that much, to be honest with you. NBA has lost a lot of revenue, so I wouldn't have guessed that, but okay.
They have a pretty
Forbes
stacked
projected them.
roster now. The last couple of
Yeah.
years, they've been fairly competitive, and I think that's why. In the past, who have the Suns been? But they have some big names now, so it kind of makes sense
Well,
why
so-
it's so high. But
Yeah, I get that point. Then Sonia says they're not in a big hurry to sell in Washington.
Washington?
So that could be an advantage for the Angels. But I do know we will hear a lot of rumors
Yeah.
It will be a bad sign, though, if we see Moreno walking around spring training with a open glass of whiskey. Then we're going to be like, shit, he's here for another year. So,
He's getting settled
Yeah.
in.
yeah.
Bad for us fans, good for other fans.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Good for the AL West, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I don't know. I think Otani's contract might play a part too, because that's gonna drastically change the value of the team. So maybe that plays a part as well.
mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm hopeful, but I don't think so.
There's just so many question marks, guys. So many.
It's
good
gonna be a
news-
crazy off season.
I agree. The good news is we have a whole off season to answer these questions. The bad news, we have a whole off season to answer these questions.
Right.
So
A lot can happen.
Well, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
we'll definitely have a lot to talk about. Like I brought up on the post game, we're going to be doing player profiles, probably more
fun.
interviews,
Mhm.
and we'll probably have when breaking news happens, we'll get in on a free agent or big news that happens maybe with ownership. So we'll see what happens.
yeah, she really wants to hop on the Zach Neto interview, by the way. So
Okay.
Yes,
she
I would love
requested-
that.
She was like, "If I could come on that one." So
I mean, really,
we'll make it
all
happen.
of them. Like I really enjoyed the Scott Spezio one. I mean, I feel like that was kind of a maybe not super tall order for my very first one, but I mean, so I would
we
love that.
dropped you on the deep end.
You did? What did you tell me morning of or day before? I forget.
I think it was the day before. I was like, "Yo, I might need you to fill in here because Dominic couldn't do it. Nobody else could do it. Todd was not going to be able to be a primary. So I've done interviews by myself, but it's a lot better when you have a second person to kind of help
Bounce off of.
navigate the interview. Yeah, bounce off of things.
Yeah.
Especially with one person, it typically doesn't last as long.
Yeah, because Fernando does a good job when we do interviews. Like Fernando will have like a list of questions that he'll either go off of or jump around to and stuff like that. So he's pretty organized. I, on the other hand, I'm lazy. I'll just play off of whatever happens, or if a certain thing pops to my mind, I'll interject with that. I might get some stats here and there to follow it with, but Fernando does a really good job of conducting the interview, and we'd have a good ebb and flow, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like, "Hey, so Scott, what was it like to hit that home run?" And Todd would be like, "Are you a basket or a cart guy at Alabama? Which one? Dude, what happens if you have a basket and you run out of room? You get a second basket." That's what I thought. Thanks, Scott.
See,
All right, Fernando, back to you. It really is like that with Todd.
I'm not
That's so
that
funny.
bad. Come on.
Yeah, that's fair. You're not going around asking people their Chipotle orders.
I'm
so.
like, paper or plastic? Which is it?
There you go.
Yeah, it's weird because in Texas, that's actually a choice. I don't think there's a lot of California grocery stores where they let you pick paper or plastic anymore, right? Because you have to pay for the bags now.
No.
I don't think
Which,
so.
by the way, I prefer the 10-cent bags over the free bags in Texas.
yeah,
Because the free
absolutely.
bags, they rip. You know what I mean? You have your milk in there, you sneeze too hard, and all of a sudden it just goes through the bag. At least for the 10-cent bags, they last.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I disagree. I don't like paying for stuff that was once free. Call me
No.
crazy. I
Well,
enjoyed.
go to
I
New
enjoyed
Jersey where they charge 35 cents for a bag, and they don't even do plastic.
my.
It's 35 cents to 50 cents, and it has to be a reusable bag, a true reusable bag.
And you wonder why people move to the Midwest.
because
Yeah.
they don't want to pay for grocery bags.
Exactly. That's one.
That's it right there.
That's it.
There you go. You know it's bad because I went when I was in Alabama so I drove. So what day was it, Todd? Was it yesterday?
Day before yesterday.
Yeah, I was. So obviously, I live in Roy City, Texas, which is about 30 minutes out of Dallas. Drove there to Louisiana, to Mississippi, to Alabama, through Florida, and I stayed on the bottom tip of Georgia. And then today, I basically just went up to Savannah, and now I'm basically on the outskirts of Atlanta, Alabama border. And I stopped in Alabama to get gas yesterday. And I was like, what? $3.15? Gas is expensive. So, your perspective definitely changes.
It does.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny. Even when you're leaving Arizona and you're going
Oh,
back
yeah.
into California, it says last chance to get good gas prices.
There you go. Yeah. Well, and
true.
before you hit Blythe,
Yes, yes.
Blythe, yeah,
yeah, Blythe is a scary place.
it is. Blythe is
Yeah, I
kind of scary.
stopped at the pilot station there at the pilot truck stop there
Mhm.
more times than I care to admit.
People disappear over there, just saying. So
Yeah,
Life
yeah,
is
like the
scary.
Angels winning seasons.
Ooh, good one.
Artie, did you ever disappear there? There's no way you've never made that drive, Artie.
We should take him to Blythe.
yeah,
See
we can
what
get them
happens.
lost out there. Give them a bottle of
that's a-
scotch
that's
and
a-
that heat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like that, the FBI's on our coattails.
Oh man. Oh, real quick, Mappadingo loves the pixelated stuff. Again, that's something that I'm going to try to fix for next season, either with a new system here where we could broadcast on all media, or we're just going to do YouTube exclusive. So there's that for next
Or we
season.
can get a new tech guy.
That too, but I've looked into it, dude. The internet's not the problem. Surprise, surprise. I think it's the program I'm using, Lula. So if we can come up with a better program, then that'd be nice. But note
Maybe
this.
you can rewrite a program, Todd.
Oh yeah, because I'm that smart, right?
Hey, it had nothing to do with smart. Do you think Mark Zuckerberg is that smart? The
He's
answer's yes.
He's
but
a robot.
He's a robot.
Yes.
So.
See, Swilly knows.
he's a robot. Well, am I missing out on this meme?
Well, have you just looked
It's
at the
just-
guy?
It's just common knowledge. It's just you look at him and you're like, oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I mean, I watched
He's
the
an
social
NPC for
network
sure.
where his friend was banging Brenda's song, but that wasn't the real Mark Zuckerberg.
Which is the real Mark Zuckerberg.
We're not sure.
Yeah, right. With the real Mark, please stand up.
Randy's like, they're all robots.
All of them.
Fuck them.
There you go.
There
We're
you
all
go.
robots, Randy.
There you go. All right. Well,
Life's a simulation. What?
I've gotten. I think I've done my time for tonight. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
Uh,
I said my
I
piece.
mean, I got a closing remark for the fans.
Go for
Thank
it.
you. Thank you guys for all you guys do to give us a voice and give us an opportunity to talk about the team. I mean, we've thanked you guys more times than we could count, but you know, I think even with all that being said, we still owe you guys like another million thank yous. You know, I'm not going to say that this is the biggest Angels page, and I'm not going to lie and say that it's the best Angels page. You know, do we always post the lineups or the post-game scores? No. But what we do is cover the team unbiasedly. You know, we're a real representation of the raw emotions a fan feels during a game. Todd can go on the post-game show, throw F-bombs because our blow pen ended the season with the loss, and you guys come here because of that.
actually.
Exactly. Yeah, we lost like that and got swept. But hey, could we have had it any
Thanks.
other way this season? It was a perfect encapsulation of what this season was in 3 games. It was a tough season, but you know what? We made it. It's
We did.
over. And though I can be excited, you know what? I'll be happy for the next week that the season's over. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to wake up in a couple of days and I'm going to wake up sad because this team and this game is what I truly care about. The season officially ends for me when the Dodgers get eliminated. After that, it's going to hit me really hard that Angels baseball is done till next year. 2023 could be an entirely different situation, guys. I mean, we saw what happened from 2019 to 2020. A couple months, our lives completely changed. So I don't know what's going to happen in 4 or 5 months when we're getting ready for spring training. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens when that does come. Maybe we have a new owner waiting in the wings. Maybe we have a new shortstop. Maybe we have a re-signed Ohtani. But you know what? Now we have the offseason to talk about it. We're super excited you guys are here along for the ride. We truly do this because we love talking about the team. You know, do we have fun along the way? Absolutely. You know, you guys make this page fun for me. You know, Todd, Swilly, JT, everybody, all the way from the top to the bottom. You know, Randy, James, Andrew, you name it. Everyone here makes talking baseball fun. Some of us have been here from the beginning, and some people, you know, pop their heads in when we invite them, like Swilly. And no matter what, we're happy that everyone here is along for the ride. So I can keep talking for the next 2 hours, but I'll have to cut myself off. just thanks, guys, and keep it tuned in this offseason. I promise we got some interviews booked. Like I said, Cuero, Zach Neto, Watson Jr. from the 66ers are scheduled to come on here in the next week or two. So we'll get those out. And, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. It's going to be a fun off season, hopefully, and it's going to be a great season next year because we really, again, this page is blown up within the last year and a half, and I think, we've extended to Twitter. He's doing a great job over there at Twitter. So we got new things, we got new plans. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot more giveaways next year, and tailgates. Hopefully, a softball game this year. But that might have to wait till next year. So we'll see. Anyway, that's all I got too. I just appreciate everybody that's jumped on in the post game and been there and messaging and following the team with us. It's been hard at times. The numbers have dropped, but we were up there pretty high when the team was doing good, and that's to be expected. So we're hoping that could be the outcome next year. A better team, better staff. Papa John's, let's do this.
Yeah, I look forward to the new season, turning on Anchor again and seeing 2,000 listens.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking forward to those days again because turning on the Anchor app and seeing that 150 people listen is not the bee's knees. Especially with all the time that comes into editing and everything. But hey, thanks to the sponsors for sticking it out, man, because we're a long way away from the 2,000 listen days. We hit them every so often. Like we'll have an episode that randomly gets 700 listens again, even though the team sucks. You're like, what? Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, comes out of nowhere, but we'll get back to it, man. Things will be better.
Willie, do you have anything to say as as an honorary member?
Honorary member. That's so nice. I mean, I'm really glad that our paths crossed, and I do love how unbiased we all are. We're all harsh because we care and because we love this team. And yeah, I appreciate you guys letting me join you, honorary member. That means a lot to me, and you guys know all I want to do is talk baseball, and I'm glad it's with you guys, so appreciate it. And yeah, I'm excited for the off season and next year, and this season is behind us, it's in the past, so we just take it for what it is and move on. And yeah, but I appreciate everything that you guys have done.
Cool. Awesome. Well, those are good words to finish it out. So for Todd Fox and who else?
Fernando Mendez, the Lone Star Halo.
The Lone Star Halo, and all the way from Parts Unknown.
Parts Unknown.
Somewhere in SoCal.
You're local Orange County Angels fan. Swilly.
There
That's
you
me.
go, Swilly. Have a good night.
Follow her on
everybody.
TikTok.
There you go.
Yeah, follow me on TikTok if you want. Really on everything.
There you go.
Yeah.
Have a good night, everybody.